How was the comedy show? Okay, to give some context, my friends told me about Matt Rife, and I hadn't seen much of his content. And I didn't want to look at his content before going to the show because I didn't want to be too biased. So let's see some of the clips of his that are really popular.
Y'all are clearly a couple. Who's the guy in her life that you hate? It's her best friends. Where'd you meet this best friend? At work? Oh, that's worse. Oh no, she has to see him every day. Okay, where do you work? At a school? Are you a teacher? Oh shit, okay, all right, okay. What do you teach? Is he a teacher as well? What does he teach? Science? Would you say you two have chemistry? Doesn't sound like it.
Okay.
Sounds like y'all are about to be history.
Very cute. I've been to quite a few. Do you call them comedy shows still if they're just like improv, stand-up, like 10, 20 different people going up on stage, doing a little something, something? I've been to those kinds of things in LA, but I feel like his comedy tour show was very, very different. Let's watch a couple clips and I'll continue to explain why.
Kids? Wait, are you Latina? Good luck. Okay. Oh my God. Can't have any kids? Dying alone. 100%. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? What is it about kids that you don't like? How old are you? 30?
That's about to be me in a few years. Not gonna lie, like, the thing is though, I do have baby fever. And I've just come to accept it. Like, I pass by a cute little kid and I'm like, I want to hug him so bad. I pass by babies and I'm like, you know, it's bad. It's fucking bad. But I am well fucking aware that as much as I want a kid, I didn't want him for more than 10 minutes. I want to love this kid and then put him away. And that's not being ready for a whole fucking child, all right? I know at some point I will want a kid enough and my lifestyle will be stable enough that I want, like, really want to have a kid. But for now, a hug or two is good enough for me.
I don't know how much you remember about health class.
Husband first anyways.
You're almost.
I would love to babysit though. I would love it if somebody let me babysit their kid. Babysitting. Would you guys enjoy a babysitting stream or would that be too chaotic? I've always thought that would be funny as fuck. Want to babysit my future baby? Fuck yeah. Pop him out already. I'm waiting, TikTok. I know you're my manager, but I don't give a fuck if you need to go on leave. I don't give a fuck. Give me some time, like 9 months. Tell him to, you know, C-section a little early, whatever the fuck. I'm running out of content. I need a baby to babysit. Let me get cooking. Get cooking! Get cooking, babes. Ask E-Rob and Britt. I'm down. I'm so down. Dexerdo. Pokey forces her manager to have a baby for content. That's a slay title. I like that. That's probably the best title they could ever give me. Or they've ever given me. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. Let's watch a couple more and I'll keep telling you guys.
There's more people in this room than you have eggs left. I don't know if you know that.
Oh my God. Actually, that's probably incorrect. It's not necessarily the egg count that decreases as you get older, especially once you're hitting around your 30s. It's actually the quality of the eggs that decreases, not necessarily how many there are. There are typically many. It's just hard to actually have them turn into a full-blown child. Anyways.
Sorry, Latino huevos. I don't know how many huevos you have in there. Okay, sorry.
Is huevos balls?
What was the proposal?
Oh, it is eggs? Oh, what's balls? It's on the tip of my brain. It's got like an O I don't want to look at chat because I know you guys have already said it. I want to see if my brain can conjure it up. But now I feel so much pressure because I know you guys are waiting on me to open my eyes and go, it's this. I don't want to do that. I want to see if my... Cojones! Yes. I'm the fucking best, bro. God! Who has ever screamed balls that excitedly? Oh my good God. You get it though, you get it though. Funny enough, huevos are also just eggs. Cojones! Huevones. Anyways, let's scroll a little bit further down.
Good, man. I got dressed up. Got a haircut. His ball was small. Super ball. It's not alopecia, is it? Make sure. Make sure. You know?
Sorry, this audio's kind of ass.
So country, man. We used to have drive your tractor to school day. Swear to God. Do you guys
There's
remember
no
School Spirit
fucking
Week?
way.
Well, like every day of the week would have a theme to it, like pajama day or twin day. We would have one day in that week when like the rich kids will pull up and just fucking flex on us, John Deere style. And the women in my school would just get wet. Like, oh my Lord, he's got land. Because that's all people cared about where I was from, was fucking farming. Like, you didn't need 8 inches if you had 8 acres. Like, that was...
Sounds pretty good. I'll give him that one.
Biggest flex you could come with. You couldn't compete with a farmer. If he's plowing land, he could plow your bitch straight up. Like there's just nothing you could do. Nothing you could do.
A little K-Kona angle. Anyways, my friends showed me about 1 or 2 TikTok clips of his. This was actually like 2 or 3 months ago. 2 to 3 months ago. And I booked us tickets to see him. There were no more tickets front row left, so I got the second row because, I'm gonna be honest, I wanted my friends to get picked on. And there were no LA tickets left, so we had to go to San Diego. That's why I was out of town. Mind you, these tickets totaled me, for 3 people, almost $3,000, okay? But I'm saying, fuck it. Obviously, I'm paying so that hopefully he picks on my fucking friends, right? I'm like, we're about to have a good night. It's gonna be a good ass memory. Let's go. I know. And listen, I am not saying this to say like his ticket prices are too high. I don't know if that's the price that he put or the price that I bought them at, if somebody was reselling them. I went on like StubHub or some random fucking site like that, okay? So, we're sat not front row but second row and like so fucking close to him. It's insane. Listen, no, I shouldn't say that. Maybe I'll say it later. One thing at a time. 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 So, we get to the show, we sit down. He has 2 people go ahead of him. I'm not gonna lie, the first one was a little bit boring. A little bit of an older white man making a little bit older jokes. You know, jokes about like girls liking horoscopes or something. Actually, I think he made a similar joke too. But you know, it's like it felt a little bit whatever to me. I wasn't laughing that much. All good though. I'm waiting for the main guy, right? The guy. And every single person that I told before going to the show, I was like, I'm gonna go see Matt Rife this weekend. I'm like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, oh my God, he's so funny. So I'm not gonna lie, I went in with kind of high hopes. However, I've been to many improv nights, or like is it called the Laugh Factory in LA? I've been to plenty like little corners in LA, and every single time I go, I die of laughter. Like I have one of the most incredible nights of my life. People are so fucking hilarious. I always have such a good time. Anyways, something I didn't... Yeah, the Comedy Store, that one. A few things... You know what? Let me just fucking get it out of the way. I didn't have that great of a time. Sorry, I didn't. But let me explain why. Okay? First start, shut the fuck up about the minus 3K. Also, you guys gave me that money, so I'm kidding. At least, it was for my friends. It was for them. All good. Oh, piss off! So, reverse card activated. So. Let me explain why, because this is not, I'm obviously not trying to, shit on him. Just the expectations didn't match what actually happened for a lot of reasons that are not really all in his control. First things first. And I say this with the utmost respect. I did not know how white San Diego was. Okay? And I'm not usually running around counting how many white people there are or not. But it kind of mattered, and I'll explain why. Okay? And it was kind of everybody, and I'll explain why. I feel like sometimes the jokes that a comedian will make depends on the crowd. And I just felt like I was in the wrong motherfucking crowd, okay? 1, and again, remember this, and I'll come back to it. 2, I think because this is a tour, he wasn't just going around talking to audiences and kind of doing whatever. It was really so far from a show like that. I could tell that everything he said was meticulously rehearsed, which I'm not going to say is a bad thing, but I think maybe from the perspective of also an entertainer or someone who kind of prefers improv, I didn't really like that. I didn't love the rehearsed feel, especially because some of the punchlines ended up being on merch. He had a joke where a punchline was the term semen demon and he also sold merch that said semen demon. And a lot of the jokes were way more sexual than I thought that they would be, which again is totes the vibe for certain audiences, all good. I didn't think it would be like that. He also had a mini body pillow, and he joked about how, when women would take it home, he's like, I know that's gonna get, what's the word? He said crispy, Crusty. No, I think he said it wasn't crusty. Maybe he said crusty. Well, anyways, I really thought there would be okay, sorry. This is maybe an unfair expectation because all of his clips are crowd work, more or less. I thought a lot of it was going to be crowd work, but maybe 5% of his show was crowd work. And some of it was still funny, don't get me wrong. Again, it just wasn't what I would expect. And unfortunately, the only 2 people he spoke to in the crowd, the first one was a 50-year-old grandma who had a body pillow of his. And their whole interaction revolved around him talking about how he really wants to bang grandmas. Which standalone can be funny, but then this lady shot the fuck up. She was like, I'm right here, babes. With the pillow. With the fucking pillow, y'all. She said, I'm right here, babes. Which again, standalone, kind of funny. But then he just started asking her, the more I talk about it, the more I realize it was extremely sexual. He had a part of his set where he talked about masturbation. Don't ask me why I said it like that. But, so he then asked that grandma, when was your first time flicking the bean, as you might say? This is so not even shit I talk about. Anyways, yeah. And so the whole crowd is sitting there listening to this grandma talk about when she first did this, when she first did that. Girl, her first time was a foursome. Huh? And then he would ask a question back, how did that come about? And then she would answer, and most people couldn't hear, and he would kind of reiterate. And I'm not going to lie, even he seemed a little uncomfortable And I could tell because, you know, when he made that joke about like loving grandmas and anyways, she was like, me. And he was like, how old are you? And she said like 50. And he said, you're not a grandma yet. You know, I'm talking like 65 plus. So I feel my kids are watching. I'm so sorry. You know what? Just mute me for 4 minutes. 4 minutes, because it's not gonna get worse, but it's not gonna get better. Okay. So, so where was I? Oh yeah, I could tell he was even a little bit uncomfortable because he wasn't really leaning into it and he wasn't leaning out of it. So the interaction just felt odd, and we're all just sitting here listening to a woman yell about things and try really hard to hit on this guy, and he's also kind of like, haha, no, but when did you first get laid? And I'm like, I don't want to fucking know how fucking Karen from San Diego got laid 40 years ago. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. All good though, because I was like, this is just the first of many crowd interactions, surely. Alas, it was not. The only other person he spoke to was a lady, a younger lady, and I think she had moved to San Diego, and he said, oh, do you like it here in comparison to where you were at before? And she said, yeah, I like it a lot. And he said, what do you like about San Diego? And she goes, there's less black people. And I turn to my friends, I'm like, did we? And they go, did she? And I go, huh? And they're like, yup. And the crowd's laughing, and we're just like, was that a joke? Because bitch, you in the fucking crowd. You're not even on stage within the context of being a comedian, perhaps. And even then, a little bit side eye. This is what you're talking about? No, this is an entirely different person. Anyways, it was very weird. Didn't he do a special on crowd work and said he wouldn't be? I have no idea. I didn't watch enough of his stuff to know, to be honest. It really made me feel like this is not the crowd for me. This is not the content for me. No, sir. The craziest part, also, I could tell from his perspective, he didn't want to like SJW, like shit on her or something, but he also didn't want to encourage it. I could tell it was probably really awkward. And so his response to that was, no, haha, like, I'm pretty sure there's still black people, right? Make some noise in the crowd. And it's like 10 people in like a 500 person crowd. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but I'm not exaggerating a lot. It was a weird show. Again, not entirely because of him, a lot because of the crowd and because I expected more improv, more crowd work, but it was mainly just like like a set that he had prepared. And unfortunately, some of the set I liked and I thought it was funny, and he has really, really good storytelling. I liked his storytelling a lot, but some of the set felt a little bit dated. And hey, I don't know how long he's been on tour. I don't know when he prepped this material. It could have been a long time ago, but it was stuff like, you know, like talking about girls really liking crystals and like horoscopes and vegans, and I don't know why to me I'm like, that's fucking 10 years ago in LA. So I think in general I would have said I had a fine time, like I had a good time, but that like the only crowd work that there was really put a sour taste in my mouth. Yeah. And again, there's no reason to pay fucking $3,000 for front or second row if he's not talking to anyone anyways. Again, I hope none of what I said sounded personal towards him. It's not like that at all. I was just mainly talking about that experience, that crowd, that city. Do any of you guys know much about San Diego? Because I did not know it was like that. I really did not. Yeah, maybe the vibe was just off that night. Oh yeah, you can unmute now. I paid 600 for 2 tickets second row. I think yeah, I probably did. But also I bought them 3 months ago, 3 months ago. I don't know, that's crazy. Like, guys, is that a funny joke to you? What the girl in the crowd said? Because not only could I not believe she said that, I couldn't believe people were laughing. Is it weird that I turned around and again, in a sea of white people, I see one elderly woman of color and she was also laughing? And I was like, it's okay if you think that's not funny. You don't gotta laugh. Being a comedian has to be hard because if you go viral, you have to do so many shows in person, but that means your actual content gets trashed. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it might have been a nervous laughter, but I don't say this from the point of like, what they did was wrong, but from the point of like, it's okay to not laugh. Like that was just weird. Maybe it was like shock laughter, but I feel like I don't know. To be honest with you, the way she said it, it sounded like she meant it. You know? And that's the complicated thing about humor. I'm not one who likes to like run around policing people's humor or like, you can joke about this and you can't joke about that. It's really, really not like that, especially within the context of being a comedian. But the unfortunate thing is, even if you make jokes that might contextually make sense or be funny, you might still be enabling people who are actually bigots. You know, it depends on the audience. And when you're putting your stuff online or when you're selling tickets, you don't know who the audience is going to be. And then boom, one day you wake up, you're in San Diego and your audience has some racists. Like, jeez. But it's not even a joke. No punchline, no reason to say such a thing. I know. Like, what's the punchline? That you're racist? It wasn't his fault though, no? Yeah. I tried to reiterate many times that a lot of the reasons that I didn't have a great time were not directly his fault. Even him, like, even me not knowing that he was doing a rehearsed set as opposed to it being like a more intimate, fun kind of show, I didn't know that. And that's not his fault, right? It's just like the clips kind of show one thing and that's not the kind of show it is. Maybe I'm just new to this kind of thing. So maybe I have to think more about the venue that something is going to be at versus the kind of content that someone typically does. I feel like the venue will dictate the content oftentimes. I saw Dave Chappelle live some months ago and was also very surprised by how different it was from what I expected. Girl, been there. I went to one of his very intimate, small shows in LA. You know where you walk in and they're like, give us the phone. Hand it over. Weirdly enough, when I went to the Dave Chappelle one, they legit take your phone and put it in a box. When I went to Matt Rife, I was really surprised that they said no recording, no photos. Like, there's 500 fucking people in the crowd. Why can't we record or take a photo? Then I realized, oh, it's probably because he's doing the same material at every single show, so he doesn't want that to be online because then people already know what's going to be at the show. You get what I mean? Dave Chappelle's, I didn't talk about it at the time because I feel like there have been some things he has said that are funny, or like a certain era of him. And then there was a period of time where people called him like problematic or controversial. And the thing is, like, girl, I've been called problematic, controversial, everything. I'm not even going to use that word. I'm going to just say it was not funny. And this was a bit after that era. So I went to see him and I'm like, oh, I wonder if what people say about him are true. Yeah, the cancel culture stuff, like, is that true? Or is he funny or whatever, right? And I don't know why when I sit down in a day and age like this and people are still talking about like SJW and trans people, I'm like, it's just not funny. It's not funny to me. I don't know. I feel like he got really hyper fixated on the cancel culture stuff. And when you just talk about the same thing too much, I'm like, it's very whatever. So many Canadians are stuck on that stuff these days. I know, it's very not fun. Comedians that try to be like, I'm the only one brave enough to say the truth are annoying. Yeah. And here's the thing. I think jokes about like almost anyone, any kind of person can be funny. It just depends how you're joking. You get what I mean? I don't know. Then again, maybe my humor has become just like terminally online, terminally? Chronically online humor. Perhaps. Especially because recently, the things that have made me laugh the fucking most, the things genuinely nowadays that make me laugh the most are Kevin James memes. They're so funny to me. Like, some of the captions people be coming up with, that shit is too good. I've actually been having fun on Twitter, and one person has saved my Twitter experience, and it's Kevin James. Love it. I hate those memes. Why? Why? They're so funny to me. Oh my god, I saw the booby one too. So good. I haven't seen the brimstone one. If you guys don't know, it's this one. It's so good. I don't know.